Hey guys, thanks for coming back to the channel. I thought I'd do a little walkthrough of the garden a little bit. I know we spend a lot of time on the pond and stuff, but we don't really spend a lot of time on the garden. So I figured I would kind of show you around some of the plants I have around the property. And that I think is really pretty anyways. And I may not know the name to all these plants and everything, but so that's okay. We'll walk around and show you the property anyways, so you can see what you think, all right? All right, so check this out. All right, so in my garden, I have a pathway that kind of goes around the pond itself. And what my idea is to get a golf cart and I'm gonna take these steps here and smooth them out, but I'm gonna get a golf cart so I can kind of wind around the pond itself, and then we're gonna build a garden on top. So first, I have these really pretty lanterns. I think they're Japanese lanterns or Chinese lanterns. And I put these in several years ago, put some lighting to them, and they're actually really pretty. I'm not sure what this is. This is some kind of vine. Kind of grows. It's real pretty. Grows and kind of winds up stuff. And so as you come through the garden, you have this real pretty koi fish kind of signaling that you're going to the pond. And as I go through, I put some DG down. I have a really pretty pomegranate tree, which I just trimmed out the lantana. So I have purple lantana here. And coming into the springtime, these look really pretty. So put some steps going up alongside the waterfall. I have a real pretty lantana bush here. These are really pretty. I like this color, the orange and red. It's very vibrant. I saw these in Hawaii. I thought going to Hawaii was going to be a really lush landscape, and it was, but a lot of volcano stuff, you know. Okay. So as we go through the arbor, I made a double arbor. I actually built this from scratch. During the COVID time, I didn't have much to do, so I figured, well, I'll add this arbor in, and we'll see how that turns out. And I thought it turned out pretty nice. I like the architecture on it. I cut these nice beams out, and I thought that was real pretty. I had to cover these guys up because they're really pretty variegated. And these are Tamara. And they get some really pretty blooms on them. So I kind of put some fencing up to keep them from the rabbits eating them. They get a really pretty vibrant blooms on them. It's more of a shade plant. So on the other side of the arbor, I've got a really nice ornamental plum tree, which is flowering right now. And they get these really pretty vibrant blooms on them. I mean, look at that, isn't that pretty? And I think this makes a great addition to your pond. Isn't that pretty? Nice with the running water in the background. It's an ornamental plum. I believe what it's called is Crowter Vesuvius flowering plum. And it blooms out in the springtime and gets these really pretty purple leaves there, if you can see that. Oops. Next to that, I put some climbing grapevine, and these are going to get grapes on them. And I have them climbing up through the arbor. So this is just a real tropical plant. I'm not sure what the name of it is, but it looked pretty nice. More of a shadier plant. You've seen them most likely on the on patios and stuff like that. So, and this guy pretty cute, little ladybug. So I stopped by this garden center, and I saw this wooden bird nest house thing, and I thought this was just the cutest thing, so I had to get it out here by the pond. Okay, so there's a look back at the pond. We've got some roses, which I'm gonna trim today. I know it's a little bit late to trim these, but I didn't trim them in January. And in California, I usually trim them in January. They come back real nice. These steps are real nice. And so let me show you what it looks like as you come up the stairs here. So you have these steps, big hedge. So as you climb up the stairs here, I put this really nice walkway in, and you go up the steps and up to the pond. And I have this nice sweeping walkway going around with some society garlic, and I bought this cactus, this metal cactus. I thought this was the cutest thing. So as you go around these steps, and these light up, by the way, at nighttime. I have a giant California oak tree right here, and I guess they're protected here in California. Here's another pomegranate tree, which I'd like this one to grow really high so I can kind of make like an arch going underneath this pathway right here. I just started putting in grass. I had some leftover grass from the backyard, and we have a flat area here which we're going to be cleaning out. And there's another lantern right there. And I have this planter which we're going to be cleaning up Monday. And it's kind of overgrown right now, but it has some real nice aloe vera in it. Isn't that pretty? Look at those pretty flowers that are coming out right now. Have some birds of paradise. And I just really love these plants here too. They almost look like, they're not, it's more of a succulent, on the succulent family, but I forgot the name of it, but it's really pretty. Look at this guy, isn't he pretty? Wow. And this guy, I think from what I heard that these guys are dying out when they get these big shoots, and you can see how tall that shoot is. Wow. Look how tall that shoot is. Probably 12 to 15 feet high. Wow. So over here I have an ornamental pear tree. It's just now starting to bud out, and you can see the real pretty blooms that it's getting on there in the leaves. The reason why I like this tree is it, you know, during the springtime like this, it flowers out, but also during the wintertime, these leaves, they turn like different colors. Like they do like a yellow to vibrant orange, fall colors to reds. So if you're looking for a really good fall looking tree in California, I would recommend the ornamental pear tree. It's just such a great tree. And there is my pomegranate tree again. I look back at the walkway as you turn around. That's nice. And of course, as you go over the steps, we're going to get into the pond area, and you can see the planter. I built a concrete planter so I can put plants in, which we're going to be redoing. You can see how. All right. Let's go to the very top of the walkway here. And this right here, my plan is to take these steps out, and I have another tier of property that goes up to here. So my plan is to actually take a golf cart again. We're gonna make a nice road that's gonna swirl through here, and we're gonna be able to come up through this way. And you can see how I have a lot of empty land up here. And this is gonna be all developed. So eventually, you can see these giant rocks here. I think this would be really pretty to have some kind of a, maybe even stream coming out of the rocks maybe, and kind of coming down towards the pond. I think that would look really nice. But I'm almost getting too many water features. This is a, I believe this is native to California. It's a, I'm not sure what the name of it is, but it's a real pretty tree that gets these really nice green bark on it and these really pretty yellow flowers. In the summertime, it's really pretty. It blooms out really, really nice, you know. So you can see all the dead leaves from the tree that we've been cutting off. And I'm not sure I like this tree because I really would like to cut it down, but it's just, I mean, it provides a lot of shade in this area, which I think will be beneficial to the new garden coming. So in California, it gets so hot out here that, because we're kind of like in the desert, that it's hard to really find plants that are tropical, you know, and I love tropical plants. And I just wished I lived in a zone that I had better tropical plants, because we're more of in a desert. So I wanted to show you my my red bud here, and this guy is really pretty. Let me move down this way a little bit. It's starting to bloom out, and this one's called a forest pansy red bud. And I noticed it was getting these little red buds on them, hence the word red buds. And then you have these really pretty buds that coming out, and they get these really big giant, see if I can get a little buds there coming. And this was really pretty during the summertime because it got these really big red leaves with a little bit of lime green veins on them, and I just thought that was really pretty. I planted a row of these, I believe they're irises, and just recently trimmed them up. You see the fish down there, they're like seeing me, so they want to eat something. We're gonna walk down this path right here, back by the waterfall, top of the waterfall. You can see my path I built. And I think I need to add some more rocks here. So, all right, little seating area down there where I sit and feed the fish. And here's the top of the waterfall. So I'm going to be doing some more planting in this area right here. I have plenty of room to plant stuff. It's important to keep your pond nice and running smoothly. Keeps the water clarity. The more stagnant your water is, the more it's going to get all gunked up. So what I try to do is I try to keep my pumps clean, and I keep my pumps clean like once a month, especially during the spring and summer because of all the gunk and crap that gets in the filters. It's been raining a lot, and I haven't really been out here very much, and I had just an overwhelming bit of grass in here, which you saw in the last video. I pretty much cleaned that out. I had some papyrus in here growing, and it just got too crazy. And so I don't know, I'm a big fan of papyrus, but when it comes to your pond and stuff, I believe that papyrus can just take over, you know. You can see all the grass that I pulled out of the pond. I haven't even got it all cleaned up yet. I have a real pretty crepe myrtle bush coming back. You see this one is coming in, starting to flower. See that? Real pretty. And so look back at this side of the pond. All right, so this is the back side of my property. So I'm gonna take you to the front now, and I'm gonna show you the waterfall. I have a 25-foot waterfall in the front, and I wanna show you what I did there. So come check it out and see what you think. All right, guys, we're now in the front of the yard, and I'm gonna be planting some of these nice, feathery, fluffy plants in the front. I'm not sure what they're called again, but I have a few of them in here in the garden. I made out of this whiskey barrel I got from a friend of mine that recently passed away. I started putting flowers in there, and I thought these were really pretty. These cabbages. I like to let them get a little taller because they kind of look like this when you buy them at Home Depot, but when you get them, or the nursery, but when you let them grow a little longer, they get these really pretty, vibrant yellow flowers on them. So I like to let them grow a little longer. And so my little piglets in the garden, aren't they cute? Got some Gerber daisies I planted in the front, but look at these lavenders that just started popping out, and they're really pretty. Great for zone 9 here in California. I grabbed a plant from Australia, and look at these vibrant blooms that they get. Isn't that pretty? And I can't remember the name of it, but as soon as I get it, I'll let you know. I just planted some Boca, or it's called Bacopa, and usually you see these in hanging baskets and stuff, but I figured if we can let these grow to kind of create like a ground cover, then that would be perfect. Okay, walk across the grass. I'm going to show you my tulips that are coming up. I planted a row of tulips here. Aren't these pretty? All right, so I also planted some doggies here. I also planted some, they call this Mexican tulip. They get these really pretty vibrant purple flowers on them, which these will all kind of come together as one big bush. That's what the hope is anyways. You can see across the yard, it's a pretty big yard, and come out here and look at some of the succulents I have. I have a succulent garden that we're going to be working on this coming spring, coming into summer. We have to put some rocks in here and stuff like that, so. I believe they call this elephant's foot. I have some giant, they call these agaves or what they are, but they're pretty big. They get giant. Look at this nice agave. I believe this is what they make the tequila out of. My gardener gave it to me, and they're absolutely beautiful. They get big. Look at this guy. Ain't he pretty? Another succulent that comes up about this time of the year. Orange flowers, very pretty. We're gonna pass through this nice little arbor here, and I have this real pretty lantana. This is a different kind of lantana, I think. This is actually kind of, isn't that pretty? This is a little bit different. The other one I showed you in the back, the orange one, kind of wiry as far as, you know, like gets a big giant bush, and this one's more like trailing. And I like this kind better because you can kind of see how it kind of trails over the side of the planter, which is really nice. Just planted a really nice Caracara orange tree. It gets like this reddish grapefruit fruit inside, but very sweet. I also have a strawberry tree. This one's really pretty. And I like this one because of the red bark it has. And it gets these like real pretty strawberry looking, well, I guess you can see one here. You can see that. Not as good. All right, guys, so as you come up through the driveway, on the right hand side, I put in the waterfall. So let's check it out and see what you think. All right, so as you come through here in the garden, you can see that I have a pondless waterfall I put in, 25 feet. And you know, a lot of people, they are so worried about manicuring their ponds and their waterfalls. And I have a waterfall right underneath a giant pine tree. You can see it here. And I don't care, because I figure that it's going to get pine needles. It's going to get these cones on there. You can kind of see them there. But I think it adds some natural look to it. It looks like something you would see like in the wild, you know? And that's kind of what I'm trying to achieve here. Is I'm not so worried about manicuring my waterfall, because if I do that, then I'm going to be worried about how things look, and I'm just not. Now, of course, you know, I might clean some of this stuff out. I'll be planting up in here. You can see I have some overrun here. So I'm gonna have to get in here and kind of fix this, because you can see how I have some water kind of pooling down here and kind of coming across. So I'm gonna have to get up there and I'm gonna have to clean some stuff out and fix it. No big deal. So let's see if we can get up there and do that real quick. You can also see I have some overrun here, but I'm not too worried about that. That's not a big deal, because that might feed the plants, right? But you can kind of see right here, it's kind of bogging up and coming over. So we need to fix that. So we'll clear some of these pine needles out and kind of see how that kind of goes out. And goes out to the driveway. So that's a view of my garden. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and I think I'm going to trim this rose because it doesn't look very good, to be honest with you. I should have came back here in January and trimmed these roses off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for the bigger stalks, and I'm going to keep the bigger stalks on the rose bush itself. And anything else that just doesn't look very good, I'm just going to cut it off. And I do see some new buds, so I don't want to take off the new buds. You're just promoting growth. By keeping the buds on there. So we're going to take off all this dead foliage here. See, the rose bush wants to come back, and when you cut it back, you actually get some really nice new leaves, like these red leaves here. So I'm gonna leave the red leaves on there, and I'm only gonna cut off stuff that I think is no good. So I'm gonna cut right above the bud. That way I have some new growth coming in. In January, it's a good time to trim your roses, so I like to keep them about knee high, about like this tall. And you're going to cut all those down. Keep the stalks, these nice thick stalks. Keep those, and anything that looks spindly, you want to take off. If you take off last year's or flowers like this, that's not doing any good. Anything that's dead, the plant wants to shoot the energy right towards that dead part. So I'm going to cut off anything that's dead. And if you forget to prune your roses back, you can just go ahead and cut all the dead stuff off, and you should have some really pretty roses come back. You can already see some buds on here, so we don't want to take that stuff off. Anything that's dead. It's already starting to look better, huh? We got to get this back half here. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed my garden. So I'm planting a lot more stuff this coming spring, and appreciate you going through the walkthrough. If you like my channel, please subscribe to my channel. It really helps me out, helps motivate me to do more videos for sure. So, but anyways, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys on the next video. And thanks again.